She walked in on her husband's promotion party. Part 3. Elena barely slept that night. Every sound outside her apartment made her jump. Every car door, every footstep in the hallway, every creak of the old building settling made her heart race. She kept thinking about Marcus's phone call, the way he'd sounded genuinely scared when he warned her about dangerous people, the way he'd known about Margaret's inheritance money when she'd only told a few people about it. At 3 a.m., Elena gave up trying to sleep and made coffee. She sat at her kitchen table with Margaret's evidence spread out in front of her, looking for clues she might have missed. That's when she found it. Hidden in the back of one of Margaret's notebooks was a business card. It was plain white, with just a name and phone number printed in simple black letters. Vincent. Chen. Private consultation. Elena stared at the card. Chen. The same last name as Margaret. This had to be a relative. She grabbed her phone and called the number, even though it was the middle of the night. Hello? The voice was male, older, with a slight accent. Is this Vincent Chen? Elena asked. Who is asking? My name is Elena Rodriguez. I think your relative Margaret left me something in her will. I need to ask you about her death. There was a long pause. Where are you calling from? Elena gave him her address. Stay where you are, Vincent said. Don't go anywhere. Don't talk to anyone. I'll be there in 2 hours. The line went dead. Elena looked at her phone, wondering what she'd gotten herself into now, but she'd come this far. She wasn't backing down. 2 hours later, exactly on time, there was a soft knock on her door. Elena looked through the peephole and saw a small Asian man in his 60s wearing a simple gray suit. Ms. Rodriguez? He said when she opened the door. I'm Vincent Chen. Margaret was my sister. Elena let him in. Vincent looked around her tiny apartment, taking in the evidence scattered across her table, the suitcase she'd packed in case she needed to leave quickly, the baseball bat she'd placed by the door. You're scared, he said. It wasn't a question. Someone broke into my boyfriend's apartment. My ex-boyfriend called and threatened me, and your sister died right before she could expose a criminal, so yes, I'm scared. Vincent nodded and sat down at her kitchen table. He picked up one of Marcus's photos and studied it carefully. My sister was a very careful woman, he said. She didn't trust easily, but when she did trust someone, she would do anything to protect them. She never even met me, Elena said. She didn't need to meet you to know who you were, Vincent replied. Margaret had a gift for reading people. She could look at someone's actions and understand their character. She was watching you for months. She was watching me? She was watching all of Marcus's victims, but you were different. The others were successful women with money and connections. You were a nurse, working 3 jobs to support a man who was lying to you. Margaret said you had the purest heart of all of them. Elena felt tears starting. I don't feel pure. I feel stupid. Stupid people don't work 3 jobs. Stupid people don't sacrifice their own dreams to help someone else achieve theirs. Stupid people don't walk into a room full of strangers and tell the truth when it would be easier to stay quiet. Vincent reached into his jacket and pulled out a thick envelope. Margaret left this for you, he said. She wrote it the day before she died. Elena opened the envelope with shaking hands. Inside was a letter in neat handwriting. Dear Elena, if you are reading this, then I am dead, and you have discovered the truth about Marcus Valdez. I'm sorry for what you've been through, but I'm not sorry that you're the one who will stop him. Elena read the rest of the letter in silence. Margaret knew she was in danger. She knew that Marcus was working for people who'd kill to protect their secrets. But she also knew that Elena was strong enough to see this through to the end. She mentioned something called the network, Elena said, looking up at Vincent. What is that? Vincent's face got very serious. The network is why my sister is dead, and it's why you're in danger now. He explained that Margaret had discovered something much bigger than just Marcus's fraud. Marcus was working for a group of people who ran romance scams all over the country. They found women with money or good jobs, and they sent men like Marcus to drain their bank accounts. It's a business, Vincent said. They have dozens of men working for them, maybe hundreds. They target nurses, teachers, social workers, women who have good hearts and steady incomes, but not enough experience with men who lie. How do you know all this? Elena asked. Because I helped Margaret investigate them. I'm a private detective. I used to work for the police, but now I work for people who need help the police can't give them. Elena looked at Vincent with new eyes. You're not just Margaret's brother, are you? I am her brother, but I'm also someone who has been hunting the network for 3 years. They killed my sister because she got too close to the truth. The heart attack. Poison. Made to look like a heart attack. Very professional. Very clean. The kind of thing the network specializes in. Elena felt sick. And now they're after me because I have her evidence? They're after you because you're not backing down. Most people would have taken the money and disappeared, but you're fighting back, and that makes you dangerous to them. Vincent spread out some papers on her table. They were photos of different men, all handsome, all well-dressed, all looking like the kind of men women would trust. These are some of the other men who work for the network. They're all over the country, all running the same scam Marcus was running. The network makes millions of dollars every year from women who think they're in love. Elena looked through the photos. How many women have they hurt? Hundreds, maybe thousands. Most of them never report it because they're embarrassed. They think it's their fault for being fooled. It's not their fault, Elena said angrily. No, it's not. But shame is a powerful thing. It keeps people quiet, which is exactly what the network wants. Elena stood up and walked to her window. The sun was starting to come up, and the street looked normal and peaceful, but she knew that was an illusion. There were dangerous people out there, people who hurt women for money and killed anyone who tried to stop them. Vincent, I want to destroy them, all of them. I want to make sure they can never hurt another woman. That's what Margaret hoped you would say. But, Elena, you need to understand what you're getting into. These people don't just steal money. They kill people who threaten them. If you do this, you'll be in danger for a long time. I'm already in danger, and I'm not the only one. There are women out there right now who are being lied to, manipulated, robbed. Someone has to stop it. Vincent smiled for the first time since he'd arrived. You sound exactly like my sister. Good, Elena said. Tell me what we need to do. Vincent explained that they needed more evidence. Margaret had been building a case against the network, but she'd only scratched the surface. They needed to find more victims, document more crimes, and most importantly, they needed to find the people at the top of the organization. The network is run by 3 people. We only know 2 of their names, Victoria Sterling and Robert Kim. The third person is a mystery. He showed Elena photos of Victoria and Robert. Victoria was a beautiful woman in her 40s, with expensive clothes and cold eyes. Robert was a handsome man in his 30s, who looked like he could be a movie star. These people looked normal. They looked like anyone you'd meet at work or at a coffee shop. That's what makes them dangerous. Evil doesn't always look like a monster. Sometimes it looks like a successful businesswoman or a charming man who tells you exactly what you want to hear. Elena's phone rang. It was David. Elena, where are you? I've been trying to call you all night. I'm at home. I'm okay. But David, I've learned some things. This is bigger than we thought. She put the phone on speaker and introduced David to Vincent. Vincent explained about the network, about Margaret's murder, about the danger they were all in. Jesus, David said, when Vincent finished. Elena, you need to get out of there. Come stay with me, or let's both go somewhere safe until the police can handle this. The police can't handle this. We've tried working with them before. The network is too smart, too careful. They have lawyers, they have money, they have connections. Traditional law enforcement can't touch them. Then what can we do? David asked. We can do what Margaret was doing. Elena said. "We can gather evidence, find victims, build a case so strong that even the best lawyers can't fight it." "Elena," David's voice was worried, "these people killed Vincent's sister. They broke into my apartment. They're not going to just let you expose them." "I know," Elena said, "but I can't live in fear for the rest of my life. I can't let them keep hurting people." Vincent looked at Elena with respect. "You're going to need help. This isn't something you can do alone." "I won't be alone," Elena said. "I have David, I have the other victims, I have you, and I have something the network doesn't expect." "What's that?" "I have nothing left to lose. They've already taken everything from me that matters. My relationship, my trust, my sense of safety. There's nothing left for them to threaten me with." Vincent nodded. "That's exactly what Margaret said about you." Over the next few hours, Vincent and Elena made a plan. They would use Margaret's evidence as a starting point, but they needed to find more victims and gather more proof. They would work carefully, quietly, so the network wouldn't know what they were doing until it was too late. The first step is to contact the other women Marcus was seeing. Not just the ones you already know about, but the ones Margaret found in other cities. Elena looked at the list of names and phone numbers Margaret had compiled. There were 12 women in total, spread across 6 different states. 12 women, Elena said quietly, just from one man. And Marcus was probably one of the smaller operators. Some of these men are seeing 20 or 30 women at the same time. Elena felt sick thinking about it. All those women, all thinking they were in love, all being used and manipulated. We start with the women who are easiest to find. We tell them the truth, and we ask them to help us stop the network. "What if they don't believe us?" Elena asked. "They'll believe us, because deep down they already know something was wrong. Women's intuition is usually right about these things. They just need someone to confirm what they already suspected." Elena spent the rest of the morning making phone calls. It was hard work, explaining to women she'd never met that the man she thought they loved was actually a criminal who'd been lying to them about everything. The first woman, Rachel from Phoenix, hung up on her. The second woman, Michelle from Denver, cried for 20 minutes. The third woman, Karen from Portland, got angry and started yelling about how Elena was probably just a jealous ex-girlfriend trying to cause trouble. But the fourth woman, Jessica from Seattle, listened carefully to everything Elena said. "I knew something was wrong," Jessica said when Elena finished. "He always had excuses for why I couldn't meet his family or his friends. He always needed money for some emergency, and he never wanted to be seen with me in public." "How much money did you give him?" Elena asked gently. $15,000 for his mother's surgery." Elena closed her eyes. "Jessica, his mother isn't sick. I told him his parents were dead. It was all lies. I want to help. I want to stop him from doing this to other women." By the end of the day, Elena had talked to all 12 women on Margaret's list. 8 of them agreed to help with the case. 4 of them hung up or refused to believe her. But 8 was enough. Elena, Vincent, and the other 8 victims spent the next week building their case. They documented every lie Marcus had told, every dollar he stolen, every promise he broke. They had bank records, photos, text messages, emails, everything they needed to prove he was a criminal. But Vincent wanted more. "Marcus is small fish. We need to get to Victoria and Robert. We need to bring down the whole network." "How do we do that?" Elena asked. Vincent smiled. "We set a trap." He explained his plan. They would use Elena as bait. She would pretend to be a wealthy woman looking for love, and they would see if the network tried to target her. "Absolutely not," David said when he heard the plan. "Elena, that's too dangerous. What if they recognize you? What if they figure out it's a trap?" They won't recognize me, Elena said. I'll use a different name, different photos, a different story. I'll be someone completely different. And if something goes wrong? Then we'll handle it, Vincent said. I'll be watching Elena every step of the way. She'll never be alone with any of these people. Elena looked at David's worried face. I have to do this. It's the only way to stop them. Why does it have to be you? David asked. Why can't someone else do it? Because I know how they operate. I know what it feels like to be manipulated by them. I know what red flags to look for, what questions to ask. And because Margaret chose me for this. David was quiet for a long time. Finally, he said, if you're doing this, then I'm helping. I'm not letting you face these people alone. David, you don't understand how dangerous this is, Vincent said. I understand perfectly. The woman I love is about to put herself in danger to stop some very bad people. There's no way I'm sitting on the sidelines. Elena felt her heart swell. Even knowing how dangerous this was, David was willing to help her. Okay, we do this together. Vincent spent the next few days teaching Elena how to be undercover. He showed her how to create a fake identity, how to act like someone she wasn't, how to ask the right questions without seeming suspicious. The most important thing is to remember that these people are very good at reading people. They can spot a fake from a mile away. So you can't just pretend to be someone else. You have to become someone else. Elena practiced for hours, creating the character of Emma Wilson, a successful marketing executive who had recently moved to the city after a bad divorce. Emma was lonely, had money, and was looking for a serious relationship. Emma joined 3 different dating apps and started getting messages almost immediately. Most of them were normal men looking for dates, but a few of them felt different. Too perfect, too charming, too interested in her job and her finances. One message in particular caught Elena's attention. It was from a man named Alex Thompson, who claimed to be a successful businessman. His photos showed a handsome man in expensive suits, and his profile said he was looking for a genuine connection with a successful woman. Elena showed the message to Vincent. That's him, Vincent said immediately. That's one of theirs. How can you tell? The language he uses, the way he focuses on your success and your independence. Normal men don't lead with questions about your career and your financial situation. This guy is profiling you. Elena felt a chill. Even knowing it was a trap, even knowing she was prepared for it, the idea of being targeted by these people was terrifying. What do I do? She asked. You respond. You play the part. You let him think he's fooling you. Elena spent the next hour crafting the perfect response. Friendly, but not too eager. Interested, but not desperate. Successful, but not bragging. Alex responded within minutes, and Elena felt like she was looking into the playbook Marcus had used on her. The compliments, the interest in her life, the way he made her feel special and chosen. But this time, she knew exactly what he was doing. Over the next few days, Elena and Alex exchanged dozens of messages. He was good, she had to admit. If she hadn't known it was a scam, she might have been fooled. He was charming, funny, interested in her thoughts and opinions. He made her feel like the most fascinating woman in the world, just like Marcus had. But Elena noticed other things, too. The way Alex always steered the conversation back to her job and her financial situation. The way he mentioned his own financial problems in passing. Nothing too obvious, just little comments about business being slow or unexpected expenses. He's setting up the ask, Winston said when Elena showed him the messages. Soon he'll have some kind of emergency where he needs money. That's when we'll know we have him. Elena's phone buzzed with a new message from Alex.
I know this is sudden, but I feel like I've known you forever. Would you like to meet for dinner tomorrow night? I know a perfect place." Elena showed the message to Vincent and David. "He's moving fast," Vincent said. "That's unusual. Usually they take weeks to build up to a meeting." "Maybe he's desperate?" David suggested. "Or maybe he knows who she really is," Vincent said quietly. Elena felt cold. "You think it's a trap?" "I think we need to be very careful. If Alex knows you're Elena Rodriguez instead of Emma Wilson, then this meeting could be very dangerous." Elena looked at the message again. "There's only one way to find out." "Elena, no," David said. "If they know who you are, they could hurt you. And if they don't know who I am, this could be our chance to get evidence against them." Elena said, "Vincent, what do you think?" Vincent was quiet for a long time. "I think Margaret would tell you to trust your instincts. What do your instincts say?" Elena thought about it. Her instincts said that Alex was dangerous, that meeting him was risky, that she could be walking into a trap. But her instincts also said that this was her chance to stop the network from hurting more women. "I'm going to meet him," Elena said. "Then we're all going to meet him," David said. "Vincent and I will be there, watching, ready to help if something goes wrong." "And if something does go wrong?" Elena asked. Vincent reached into his jacket and pulled out a small device. "You'll wear this. It's a GPS tracker and a recording device. If you're in danger, we'll know exactly where you are." Elena took the device. It was smaller than a matchbox and looked like a piece of jewelry. "One more thing," Vincent said. "If this goes bad, if you think you're in real danger, you run. You don't try to be a hero. You don't try to get more evidence. You run and let us handle the rest." Elena nodded. "I understand." But as she typed her response to Alex, agreeing to meet him for dinner, Elena wondered if she really understood what she was getting into. The next evening, Elena stood in front of her mirror, dressed as Emma Wilson. She wore an expensive dress she'd bought with some of Margaret's inheritance money, professional makeup and jewelry that made her look successful and wealthy. But inside, she was still Elena Rodriguez, the nurse who had walked into a community center 1 year ago and discovered her boyfriend was marrying someone else. "You ready for this?" David asked. He was dressed in a suit, looking like any other businessman having dinner in an expensive restaurant. "I think so." "Vincent, you'll be able to hear everything." Vincent nodded. "Every word. And if anything feels wrong, you say the word confused, and we'll come get you immediately." Elena took a deep breath. "Let's go catch some criminals." The restaurant Alex had chosen was expensive and dimly lit, the kind of place where people went to impress each other. Elena arrived exactly on time and gave the hostess Emma Wilson's name. "Right this way," the hostess said, leading Elena to a quiet table in the back corner. Alex was already there, and Elena's breath caught in her throat. He was even more handsome in person than in his photos, but that wasn't what shocked her. What shocked her was that she recognized him. She'd seen his face before, in the photos Vincent had shown her. Alex Thompson wasn't just another scammer working for the network. Alex Thompson was Robert Kim, one of the 3 people who ran the entire operation. Elena sat down across from him, her heart pounding, trying to keep her face calm and friendly. "Emma," Robert said, standing up to shake her hand, "you're even more beautiful than your photos." "Thank you," Elena managed to say. "You look great too." As Robert sat back down, Elena noticed something that made her blood run cold. He was wearing a wedding ring, and she recognized that ring. She'd seen it before, on a finger that had been holding hands with a woman in a white dress. Robert Kim wasn't just running the network. Robert Kim was Marcus.